We're in a situation, the storm is coming at us, and we get an impact down in the Wilmington area where the storm is coming up the Cape Fear River. Onslow County in a hurricane in that situation is in the right front quadrant, which means our coastal areas will see the highest storm surge. We have the greatest potential for having tornadic impacts, and in that situation, we're looking at a county-wide event. If we have a situation where the eye of the storm is staying east of us and we're being brushed up by the eye wall, then most of our damage is more than likely going to be on the coastline. We'll be looking Sneads Ferry, Swansboro, Bear Creek, Hubert type areas that we'll be looking at for our evaluation. So it entirely depends on where the storm comes in, which side of the storm that we're affected by is dependent on where our focus of the disaster evaluations are going to be at. Even well before the storm strikes, we have the county's emergency operations center is going to be operational, the citizens phone bank is going to be operational, and we're looking at taking information in. We may have calls, if we've had widespread damage, maybe drugstores and vendors are closed down and people need to have a family member that needs oxygen. It could be a simple item like that, where they're calling the citizens phone bank. We will put them in contact with someone in public health, and then they're trying to find those needs for the citizens. We're trying to get information from the public. When we start receiving phone calls into our citizens phone bank, if we have a mass number of calls into a singular area, then that gives us an indication that there's a lot of damage or activity that's occurred in that area. So one of the things when we receive information like that is we will actually send our damage assessment teams out, which are actually our tax office personnel. Entirely dependent on the needs of the citizens, we could be standing up points of distribution, which we call pods, around the counties. And in these areas, that's where we would be distributing ice, water, tarps, any kind of food supplies that the citizens may need. And these are basically going to be more like a drive-in. They come in, they tell whoever the pod manager is how many people they have in their home. There'll be set numbers of supplies that we can give out, and the citizens can pick up and leave from there and go back out. And we want to try to make it as quick as we possibly can. Onslow County has a very large and growing population. We're now 193,000 people is what we're expected, and we'll keep on growing, which means our needs and number of people that needs these needs are going to grow as well. So we want to try to make the pods as quickly and efficiently as we possibly can, and more, like I said, just a drive-through with a U-shaped type of come through, pick up your supplies, and you're on the way back out. Once we can get to a certain dollar value threshold, which is identified by the state, there is a better indication that we can get a federal declaration of disaster. If you can stay home, stay home. If you have to be out, it is one of those things not to be out looking. It is go to where you need to go, get what you need to get, come back home, and if by all means the road is blocked for some reason, do not drive through the area. A lot of people after a disaster want to get out on the road. They want to travel the roads, they want to see the event, they want to see how much damage has occurred. However, we have a lot of dangers still on the roadway. And these dangers can be anywhere from trees that are leaning that still may fall, fallen trees in the roadways, down power lines, and flooding. If you see a flooded road, if you see a barricaded road because of flooding, do not move the barricades. Do not drive through that area, because what you also may not be able to see is that the road is washed out underneath the water. In 2010, we had Tropical Storm Nicole, where we had 21 inches of rain that was dumped in Onslow County in a 3-day period. During the heaviest time of these rain events, we had people driving through flooded areas, and we had 19 documented water rescue events that evening. In the event that we see a Cat 4, Cat 5 hurricane, however those have been highly unlikely in Onslow County and state of North Carolina, there still is a possibility we may have those types of events. Onslow County may require evacuation of its citizens out of the area. A lot of our shelters are not designed for the wind strengths of a Cat 4 and Cat 5 hurricane, so there's a lot of liability in standing up shelters here in the county when we need to be moving the population out of the area. After Hurricane Floyd, I-40 in Duplin County was shut down for 2 weeks because of floodwaters. Lenoir County saw floodwaters back up in that area back through Wayne after Hurricane Floyd for weeks on end. So what we have to look at, not only our internal infrastructure but external infrastructure, being able to get the citizens back into the county. You have to evacuate, look and listen for pushing of additional information on when it is safe to return. Don't just assume upon yourself that it is okay to come back into the county.